progress about the flight. Right now the airplane is in annual mode. I have to do the annual, and we found some minor issues that have to be taken care of. So right now that's where I am. So the cowling is off the airplane, and one of the issues is, for example, this oil temperature sensor is a little bit on the loose side, so that has to be replaced. Unfortunately, this is an old sensor and this is no longer being manufactured, and we need a new sensor for this. However, the new sensor does not work with the current temperature indicator, and therefore the temperature indicator has to be sent in. I believe it needs a new resistor. Another issue is that the oil cooler lines, they have to be replaced. That has to be replaced every 1,000 hours or 8 years. Also, my right brake master cylinder had to be rebuilt because as I was holding, after maybe 30 seconds it started to slip in the pedal, the toe brakes. So that needs to be, well, we rebuilt this. I'm also going to replace my valve cover gasket that I got from Real Gaskets. And finally, I have my ELT battery that has to be replaced, but that's not a big deal. That's just a few D-cell batteries. The airplane is still in annual mode. This is the exhaust gasket for cylinder number 1, and pretty much you can tell that it was leaking on this side, exhaust gas. This is number 4, and I was leaking too. Way overdue for replacement. These are the valve cover oil return line, but I don't know when they were replaced. They're pretty much shot, so those need to be replaced. I got brand new fuel lines here that I just got from Specialty Hoses from North Canton, Ohio. They are excellent. I just faired the exhaust as much as I could. Obviously there's quite a bit of warp in there. Try to make sure that the exhaust flanges are in line. I checked the exhaust, the muffler. I don't see any cracks in there anywhere, so that's excellent news. And of course, the engine, as I was mentioning, the return lines, their hoses were shot. And also the intake manifold. Well, actually, there's not a manifold, just intake pipe. Those lines are shot too, and this is the old one. I mean, you can tell they're in pretty bad shape. So everything is gonna be replaced. And I just replaced a few minutes ago my air filter. I got a brand new one. Somebody told me that they have to be washed, and that's it. Soapy water. And I took it apart. There is a sticker: do not clean and reuse. Need to be replaced every 200 hours. Well, I never replaced it in the past 3 years, 3.5, 4 years. This is the 4th year now since I owned it, so it was a way overdue. I never knew about it. Now I'm gonna replace it every year. $15 from Aircraft Spruce. So, and as always, have to be innovative a little bit, because this hose is supposed to help me to drain the oil, and it's really not straight. So if I hang it up here on the bottom, I don't know how it's gonna hit the oil pan. So I need to straighten this out somehow. And this has been bugging me for quite a while, so I guess I have to put in some sort of cast so that it'll work for me. And right now, that's pretty much where I am right now in the annual and the general overview, or I guess I cannot call it overhaul because this is really not an overhaul, but I have to really go through with a fine-tooth comb, making sure that everything is working just fine in the airplane. And by the way, these lines are not here to hang myself, because somebody was asking, like, well, what is this? Or actually, these lines are here to hang up kites that I like to play around with once in a while, to adjust their brittles or bridles, whatever they call it. And this is how I straightened out my oil drain line, and works quite well. And this is the cleaned up engine oil strainer, and I'm just testing it right now. Looks like it's pretty nice and clean after I cleaned it with a toothbrush, so I'm pretty happy with it, although I was quite stressed out over the lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, replaced, and I didn't know about. So that's the first part of my annual video. There's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to fix and look over. So there'll be another video, definitely.